people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings all belong to me.
Stephen A. Smith has called out Floyd Mayweather over false claims that he owns 62 buildings worth $42 million. Reports have denied Mayweather's full ownership, revealing that he only holds minor shares in these properties, not full ownership. Stephen has questioned whether Floyd exaggerated his wealth to protect his image, especially amidst rumors of bankruptcy and a potential $42 million scam.
Last half of his career with one hand. He constantly broke his hand.
Yeah.
He would go into a ring knowing he had no shot at knocking somebody out because his hands were hurt too much. And literally walked in the ring and said, I'm going to embarrass you and humiliate you by showing the world you can't hit me.
Stephen A. Smith has never held back in praising Floyd Mayweather for his boxing career. He's often spoken highly of Mayweather's legacy, especially how Floyd managed to stay undefeated and undisputed for much of his career. Stephen has highlighted Floyd's disciplined, unbeatable defense and perfect record as signs of his greatness in the ring. To Stephen, Floyd wasn't just a fighter. He was a master strategist, someone who fought not only to win but to make sure he never lost. That level of dominance earned him respect from both fans and analysts.
Greatest boxer in history. He's absolutely sensational. But he retired years ago. And for me personally, I know these exhibition matches are entertaining. I like the one with Conor McGregor. Not so much the one with Logan Paul. Looking at these exhibitions and all of that stuff, that little melee and stuff don't matter to me. As far as I'm concerned, it could have potentially been orchestrated. I don't know. But I do know not just anybody should be allowed to be.
However, Stephen's praise started to dwindle after Mayweather shifted to exhibition matches post-retirement. Instead of fighting for his legacy, Floyd seemed to be fighting for money. A prime example of this was his fight with Logan Paul. Stephen didn't hold back in criticizing this bout, pointing out that it lacked any real competition. Logan Paul, a YouTuber turned amateur boxer, was not a challenge for someone of Floyd's caliber. To Stephen, this was a clear cash grab, not a fight for greatness.
Which is where my disappointment comes from. When you are as great as Floyd Money Mayweather, everybody doesn't deserve to be in your space. I know you like to make money. You're never going to stop making money. Very, very few people on the planet know how to make money like you know how to make money. But some of this stuff has got to stop. You want to get Conor McGregor in the ring for an exhibition match? All right, that's fine. You know, Conor sold that. It was great marketing. He's not a boxer.
Stephen A. didn't just stop with Logan Paul. He expressed discomfort in several interviews with Mayweather's choice of exhibition matches overall. While he understood why Floyd fought Conor McGregor, given McGregor's background in combat sports, he drew the line when Floyd started picking opponents who didn't measure up just to secure an easy payday. Stephen felt this was damaging to the legacy Mayweather had worked so hard to build. Floyd, it seemed, was more focused on making money than maintaining his place in boxing history. It appeared that financial gain had overtaken the importance of legacy.
You made money. You're going to make a hell of a lot more money.
But the main thing is, I made smart investments. And I still make millions every month.
Do you care about your boxing legacy?
More than what?
We ain't gonna say more than money. We know better. We're not gonna say more than money. We know better.
More than my family? No. So what's more important? My children. Because when I make this money, you know what? I put my children and my family in a position that they are entrepreneurs. They are bosses. I don't want my kids to have to answer to nobody. So I will take the long road. I will take the bumps and the bruises.
This became crystal clear during a particularly direct interview when Stephen A. bluntly asked Mayweather, "What matters more, your money or your legacy?" It was a question that called for deep reflection. However, Floyd's answers always seemed to circle back to his wealth. He boasted about being a smart businessman and how much money he made. But for Stephen and many others, it came across as an athlete choosing money over respect that a strong legacy brings.
And more. As the sun clearly set on the boxing career of Mayweather, many can reflect on a lot of things about the man. He wasn't a Mike Tyson-like knockout artist, or even Tommy the Hitman Hearns. To many, he wasn't even Sugar Ray Leonard. He certainly can't be confused with Muhammad Ali or any other fighter who's ever been socially conscious. No doubt he was guilty of domestic violence, as our very own The Undefeated accurately pointed out. He definitely had his share of boring fights that didn't give the people what they actually wanted to see. But that ain't the legacy these athletes are paying attention to. What they're paying attention to instead is the $1 billion plus Mayweather has earned in his career. How box office he made himself. How he's been his own boss, answerable to no commissioner, no owner, no GMs, and barely even the fans for the last decade in achieving unprecedented wealth, fame, and control of his own name, his own brand. And how despite strenuous efforts by so many to bring him down, they simply weren't able to do it. You want to see an athlete drool? The idolized displaying deference and
This focus on money has affected how newer athletes view Floyd. Stephen A. argued that today's rising stars don't look up to Mayweather for his boxing skills, his footwork, or his incredible ring intelligence. Instead, they admire his wealth, his flashy lifestyle, and the persona he's built. To Stephen, this is doing a disservice to the sport of boxing. It sends the wrong message that money is more important than mastering the craft, and it risks undermining everything Floyd once stood for.
Name another boxer besides myself that's more famous than Logan Paul.
Tyson Fury.
What? I want you to look up Tyson Fury, how many followers, and look up how many followers Logan Paul has.
Logan Paul, 56 million. Tyson Fury, 4 million.
So 50 compared to 4 something. I can fight a fighter right now, guarantee myself 35 million. Or me and Logan Paul can go out and entertain and have fun and make 100 million or more. So if you were me, you gotta look at 35 million for 12 rounds and 100.
The shift in Floyd's priorities became painfully clear when he was asked why he chose to fight Logan Paul rather than a more prestigious boxer like Tyson Fury. Floyd's response? Logan had more social media followers. That was it. No mention of skill, legacy, or competition, just clout on social media. For many, including Stephen A., this showed that Floyd's priorities had completely changed. He wasn't fighting for legacy anymore. He was fighting for attention and money.
The highest paid athlete, not the highest paid boxer, the highest paid athlete in the world. I had the opportunity and pleasure to be around him for many years. I was his personal shopper. I was a personal friend of his family. One of my greatest memories of being just lucky enough to even be around that environment was watching him train. Watching Floyd Mayweather train is a masterclass in discipline. It is a masterclass in work ethic. It is a masterclass in this is how you execute and get stuff done. Every rep, he hits it hard. There's not one lazy rep. He does everything at such a high frequency, so elevated. I'm like, goodness gracious, watching this man train, it's like, that's how I want to train for life. I've been to the club with Floyd where we leave in the club 3, 4 in the morning and he's still going to hit his 6 miles. He'll have all the cars follow him and he's running.
There was a time when Floyd Mayweather was considered the highest paid athlete in the world, not just in boxing, but across all sports. That reputation earned him a lot of respect. However, with new reports and rumors about his finances, his legacy is now being questioned. The man once known for his meticulous planning and discipline is now facing scrutiny over the very wealth he used to flaunt.
$1.8 million.
$1.8 million watch.
$1.8 million, dude?
You're the first to see it.
That's insane. That
1.8 is high. 18 life.
That happy birthday, champ.
That's how we doing.
1 point. That is sick, dude.
But you gotta show him what he say.
Money green.
No,
Hold on. This watch was made specifically for the champ, Floyd Money Mayweather. 1 of 1 piece.
One of one.
Money team. Can we see it on him? Yes, sir.
That 1 of 1.
$1.8 million.
It's like it's a 1 of 1. I love that.
Floyd has always loved to show off his wealth, with one of his most famous flexes being a $1.8 million watch. From Bugattis to private jets, his life was an endless display of excess. But now, those same displays of wealth are being looked at under a new lens, and people are starting to question if they were all part of a carefully constructed image, or if they were hiding deeper financial issues.
Well, from Eric B. and Rakim, we were at the Mondrian. Floyd Mayweather was there. He had some tax issues. He was about to go to jail, but that's before Money Mayweather, that's Pretty Boy Floyd.
Got you.
He was speaking to E, he needed a couple of $1 million to stay out of jail. I called my man Neil, who I was rocking with heavy. He owned Scunty, the hair accessory company. Everybody thought I was crazy. They said, yo, loan me $2 million. I want to sign Floyd. He flew out, loaned me the $2 million, and from there on, we were in the boxing business.
The numbers don't lie. At one point, Floyd reportedly owed $22.2 million to the IRS. For someone claiming to be the wealthiest athlete alive, that kind of tax bill raises eyebrows. It showed that perhaps the flashy lifestyle was more of a facade than fans ever realized.
Floyd Money Mayweather up until recently didn't have any money, so Floyd is the highest earning athlete in his career, making over $1.1 billion. And after making a killing, he ended up retiring in 2017. However, he dug himself into a hole after making super lavish purchases like this LA mansion. It was so bad that he actually owed $22.2 million to the IRS, which made him have to come out of retirement to pay that back.
Adding fuel to the fire, former UFC fighter and analyst Chael Sonnen revealed something uncomfortable. He claimed that the Mayweather versus McGregor fight wasn't as financially successful as it appeared. Sonnen said that many of the seats at the event were empty, and those that were filled were with people paid to make the arena look sold out. Chael, who covered the event live, accused Mayweather's PR team of creating an illusion before Floyd became the money persona. He was already in financial trouble. Reports came out that he was facing jail time due to unpaid taxes and had to borrow $2 million just to pay off part of his debt. This wasn't a story of a smart financial genius. It was a story of a man on the verge of collapse.
And I know it sounds crazy to some of you out there, but trust me, I have legitimate proof. Watch this.
He asked me to help him, so I could stop them from using TMT as their logo right now. Because
you wouldn't do that because y'all cool again.
Yeah, I'm just not chasing it. But to be honest with you, I incorporated TMT in Delaware while he was incarcerated. Because he didn't sign the paper doesn't mean the corporation isn't valid. So I could actually, technically it trademarks the term of it because his entire corporation is built on it. So I could tell you, you can't have TMT socks. You can't have that TMT shirt you got on. He don't understand that because he's just not. I just said it and he won't be able to figure out that I could do that.
Damn, you and this guy, man. I thought y'all was good again.
We are good. I just don't understand why he having the conversation. How am I coming up in conversation? I don't even care about what they're doing.
So there's still some static.
No, it only happens when it's time. It's time to build some type of energy or some sort of press. Right. It's time to make a fight, and then that happens.
So through the BX Fight Club, you met someone,
Isaac, right? Because they had to legalize it on paper to turn it into like a dark show, like when they don't have television involved with a boxing event. Even Floyd, when you make yourself like we got issues over here, he's still the best fighter out there. Until somebody beat him, that's who he is.
Do you think he should step back in the ring?
I think he got to right now because the money gone.
So the money's really gone?
Yeah, that's what you think. It's get the money.
The numbers don't lie. At one point, Floyd reportedly owed $22.2 million to the IRS. For someone claiming to be the wealthiest athlete alive, that kind of tax bill definitely raises questions. It suggested that maybe the flashy lifestyle Floyd was showing off was built on shaky financial ground.
Last Saturday, a real the crowd booing in the arena at the end. But in the middle of the second round, Floyd literally had the referee swapped out. He didn't like that the referee told him to stop hitting behind the head. Floyd is used to having the refs do whatever he wants, and he wasn't getting his way this time. It was so embarrassing. Floyd, you're 50 years old. You're a legend in the sport. I've stood up for you in countless interviews, including Shannon Sharp's podcast last week. But you have to stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life is hard. I know life is expensive. But come on, dude, put your legacy first. Nobody wants to remember you like this. And it gets worse. Your jeweler filed a lawsuit against you in Miami. And many are saying you're going to have to sell off your assets.
Even rapper 50 Cent, once close to Mayweather, weighed in. In interviews, 50 Cent revealed that Floyd had spent recklessly from buying expensive jewelry to gambling, and eventually found himself broke. According to 50 Cent, Floyd's return to fighting YouTubers wasn't a choice, it was a necessity. He needed money, and now he was risking his legacy to get it.
Let's talk about this picture of Mayweather in Dubai that's going viral. Here's the backstory. According to Gervonta Davis, Floyd Mayweather is being held hostage in Dubai over unpaid debts. Boxing agent Rick Glazer confirmed Davis's comments by saying Floyd is desperately trying to work things out with Dubai's court system. And that's why my comment, blink twice if you're stuck there, on this post is getting a lot of attention. Mayweather still hasn't...
Oscar de la Hoya, another legendary fighter, also criticized Mayweather. He urged Floyd to stop before he ruined his legacy completely. De la Hoya's message echoed what many people were thinking. Floyd needed to think about his legacy before it was too late.
Has been trapped in Dubai for the last 50 days. Gervonta Davis was the first to claim it. Now multiple insider sources have confirmed that he is in fact trapped in Dubai for a debt that has nothing to do with boxing. After doing a little digging, it seems that someone in his camp, while he was shopping for jewelry in Dubai, stole one of the pieces, got away with it, and then blocked all communication with Mayweather. Since then, Floyd has already paid for the jewelry, but they refuse to let him go until they get their piece back. And allegedly, this guy right here is the thief that...
Reports surfaced that Floyd had donated to homeless shelters in Los Angeles. It sparked some brief admiration, but that admiration quickly turned confusion when Mayweather posted photos from Dubai, seemingly contradicting the timeline of the donation. Was this a genuine attempt to improve his image, or was it just another attempt to hide the truth? This only fueled more doubts about his credibility. Things took another turn when Gervonta Davis, once mentored by Mayweather, made a shocking claim. According to Davis, Floyd wasn't on a world tour, as he had claimed. Instead, Floyd was allegedly being held hostage in Dubai due to unpaid debts related to luxury jewelry. This bold accusation contradicted Floyd's version of events and added more fuel to the fire about his financial problems. Floyd had posted photos saying he was on a world tour, but Davis exposed a lie, revealing that Mayweather was actually stuck in Dubai over his debts. To cover up the truth, Floyd exaggerated his claims, like saying he owned 62 buildings worth $42 million, a move that further damaged his reputation. 17. That's all for today's video. Stay tuned for the next one.